Okay, I believe we are live here. So welcome to the weekly live stream here at the Guitar Collection. Do this every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central US time. So I know many of you watch afterwards as well. Don't forget to check out the timestamps, which, oh gosh, I'm trying to remember if I did that for the last one or not, but hopefully I did timestamp the video. I have some really nice guitars to show you here today. It's gonna be an exciting week here. It's kind of amazing how it ends up happening, but I think I've never repeated a guitar in a live stream. So these are all brand new arrivals, not shown yet on the website or anywhere else. I just posted about them today. So hopefully you enjoy this first look at them as I get to know them as well. It's a rainy day here in Austin, Texas. Actually, very oddly, there are birds chirping, even though it's been raining pretty heavily. Maybe they're getting a little bored out there. I'm armed with a cup of coffee. Maybe you are all too. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Say hello. It's always nice to see those of you that are here for the live stream. It's nice to see who tunes in. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you this 2023 Stephen Walter guitar, which has a spruce top. It's lattice brace like Steve Walter's guitars typically are. All wood lattice brace with this defined resonance area. And it has two sound ports here. You can see this raises the main air resonance a little bit on the guitar, but also the main purpose is to just allow the guitar to vibrate a little bit more freely so that you as the player can hear it a little bit more. They're not speakers that shoot directly to your ear. I think that's the mistaken identity of these sound ports. And this one has a Indian rosewood back and sides. It's nothing flashy, but also the price reflects that. And this one is used very gently, I have to say, just a mark here or there. It's in very good condition. So anyhow, I'm seeing people tune in here. We've got Don signing in from LA. What's up, Brian? Good to see you from Phoenix. Nice. And Bob from Winston-Salem. All right. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. As you know, in just a couple of minutes, I'll start demoing these guitars. I have to be a little faster than normal today because I have a student that butts right up against this stream. So I have to be efficient here and give myself a second in between. But anyhow, I was just finishing by saying we have this Stephen Walter guitar from 2023. Check out that raised fingerboard. I stand by it. The most comfortable guitars on the planet. So easy to play. Scheller tuners on that thing. And then, I think, if I got the order right, yes, I have this 2024 guitar by the very well-known French maker Noel Rohe. And he's in the style of Field and Friedrich, not only by the sound, but also by the bracing, which of course influences the sound. You'll see a lot of things reminiscent of these two makers, like you have this diagonal bar that you'll see on Friedrich guitars down here. On Field's guitars, you'll see many of the little side brace peones that go along the side. And while this one doesn't have as many as Field does on them, he's stiffened the sides certainly because there's ones every now and then along the sides. And then of course the rosette and the headstock. The headstock looks identical to Dominique Field's here. And he must have given him his blessing on that because otherwise it would be off with the head, I think. You know, can't be copying headstock designs, you know. No, there is maybe some subtle differences here. And all jokes aside, maybe that these little arches are a little bit flatter. Not arches, what do you say? Like these little carvings are a little bit flatter here. But anyhow, lots of little detail on this guitar. And I'm telling you, if you like these details, if you love looking at guitar with details, this is one that you're going to really enjoy. It's very simple and understated. But then when you look at places like, you look up here on the headstock, there's, and unfortunately you won't be able to see it really in the video, but there's just these like nice little rounded edges here to the end of this head plate. It's really nice. This one has Scheller tuners as well. And what's up, Vincent from Italy? Good to see you. Vince from Italy, sorry. And I have to tune this one a little bit because actually, I have a feeling this is going to make a huge difference. This guitar came to me in the mail, not from the luthier, but from someone else, that this one's 5th string was clearly a D string to me. So when I played, I was like, what's wrong with this guitar at first? Because it sounded great, but this one sounded so, like, felt so flexible and underpowered. And within like 2 or 3 plucks of the string, I knew this was the wrong string. So I've now replaced that one, and it has an appropriate set of strings on it. And this thing is something else. I mean, it honestly competes with the very best Fields and Friedrich guitars, and it sounds like a marriage between those. You know, it sounds to me like the first string is the response of the Field, where it's like really pops off the guitar. It sounds very open and loose. I wonder if that comes from stiffening the sides. It's really quite nice. Super cool guitar. I'll get to a full review in a second. And look at this Indian rosewood. Can you guys believe this? Now you can see when, you know, when I post these photos that are brilliantly taken by Asmund Eriksson, these ones recently, that's not some Photoshop magic. Look at that. I mean, it's Indian rosewood. This isn't Brazilian. It just looks incredible, right? Pretty sweet. It's a phenomenal guitar and really beautiful looking. Wow, the sides too. Look how bright that is. It looks like it looks like you're choosing. It's like some sort of color gradient where you're choosing which wood you want. You know, it's like here's the darker, and then it perfectly fades into lighter wood. So these details are so nice. Oh, what's up, Nick? He asked, what strings are you using on this Rohe? Oh my gosh. Well, I wish I could tell you with certainty because I just got this one in and I've only replaced the 5th string because for whatever reason, it was a 4th string on this guitar. So almost certainly it was a 4th string. So I'm going to go with some guesses here. I think I'll be able to tell you something close. I'm going to think they're knoblock basses. The 6th string is knoblock. Let me see. Actually, they might be D'Addario. Yeah, I'm going to go with these are D'Addario basses. And that's good because I put a D'Addario 5th on. And we've got carbon 3rd string and then nylon 2nd and 1st. No, this is a carbon 2nd. It's always tough, you know. They're a little bit scratched up strings too, so I can't say with certainty, but that's what I currently have on it. Yeah, right. So Brian says it's the coolest set of Indian rosewood. I know. There's been some cool sets I've seen too, but I have to say this ranks up there. I mean, how often do you see that? Such cool color variation. Anyways, let's move on and I'll show you the last guitar today, which I don't even have professional photos of. But it really surprised me. I got this guitar in yesterday, dropped off from the maker. And for those looking for a reasonably priced guitar, that's significantly less, let's say half as much as the Stephen Walter guitar that I just showed you. This is by Michael Fontenot. And this is his latest guitar, number 21. He just finished it, I don't know, like a week or 2 ago. And he brought over, it's 640 scale. And it's a Nomex double top. And it is, I mean, such a surprise to me, honestly. Just, let me tune this up and I'll show you what I mean real quick. This guitar, oh, my A nail, I think it's from playing one of these guitars with a scratched up 1st string. those of you that play guitar with scratchy first strings and then send them to me, darn you, because sometimes the strings sound great but are otherwise scratched up. So if you're playing with nails that are just absolutely rough, it's killing me. Then it kills my nails. I should just change the strings. Okay, this one does not have a scratchy first string. It's brand new. This has all nylon strings on it, all D'Addario normal tension nylon strings, no carbons at all. And this is a Nomex double top 640 scale. He's got something going on that's really good. I mean, a couple of things I can tell you right away is that the main air resonance on this guitar is low. It's like an E, maybe a little bit lower. I hear perfectly. Wow, maybe it's D. Or D sharp. Yeah, I think it's D. Yeah, this is D. D, yeah. So it has this really, really growling bass to it. And something you'll find on some of these guitars that have these low main air resonances that it's going to have terrible sustain in some places on the first string. And this one does not. I mean, D is totally acceptable. Listen to this E. F sharp. It doesn't get better than that. G. A little bit shorter G, but not egregious. G sharp, A. Pretty great. I mean, you guys tell me what you think. This is his 21st guitar, which actually 21 is my lucky number. And ever since I was a little kid. And I have to say that this one is very, very impressive. He's got this little wheat motif, or I guess I should say kind of a big wheat motif that goes down the center of the heel all the way down to the butt of the guitar here. And you'll see that same motif up on the headstock that goes throughout the duration of it. Really nice, classy look to it. This armrest is also, oh, actually I'm not sure. It might be Cocobolo. It's got more of an orangey color. But it's really comfortable guitar to play. And so much volume, so super impressive. This is my little quick demo version. For those of you that might have to roll. Or think I talk too much, then you can just zoom out of here. Listen to this. Really impressive guitar. So I'm going to set this one down, raised fingerboard, Michael Fontenot. That'll be the last one I get to today. And perhaps we'll start. Any questions from anyone here in the chat? I was going to read. And for those of you that are tuning in later, if you did not catch me mentioning at the beginning, definitely check out the timestamps. If you want to hear a particular guitar right from its introduction, you can click that button and go listen. And please leave a comment afterwards if you're watching this in the future and you are, you enjoyed it or you'd like to see something different, then let me know. I'd love to hear from you. It's a little sad today. No sunshine. Although a guitar did still get delivered in the rain today. And no, that was not soaking wet, so that's fortunate. And I'm expecting no other deliveries, so there's nothing else to worry about with the rain. Or like has happened now, maybe you guys don't know or maybe you do know, but several times during this stream of weeks past, I've had guitars delivered. and I have to pretend like I'm not distracted by it. So hope I'm enjoying the rain. I am. You know what? Everything's going to be so green in the coming days here. It's going to be really nice. We needed it here in Texas. That's such a cliche thing to say. We really needed that rain, but we did, I swear. Nice guitar, says impressive bass. Yeah. Lisa, hello from Philadelphia. Good to see you. Roskill, good morning. It's been a good day so far. And let's see, plans for today. Just to share with you all. Gosh, I have to teach a lot. Right after the stream, I have to teach. Then I've got to go to a high school to teach. And then I think I have 2 lessons in the afternoon. Yep. At 4 and 6:30. And then that's it. So, all right. Greetings from The Hague in the Netherlands. Awesome. MR. Awesome. Good to see you here. Thanks for joining. I'm going to tune up the Steve Walter guitar and then give you all a formal presentation of it. And then between each guitar, I'll take questions. So if there's anything you're interested in, want to know more details about, let me know. Nice. Okay. Well, shall we start? What do you guys say? Worth it? Want to hear some guitar playing? It's now 14 people. This is, wow, it's crazy to see week to week more and more people here at just the first, 20 minutes of this. But really nice to see y'all here. So thanks for watching. And yeah, by the way, new website launch soon. It's probably coming in the next couple weeks. Everything's ready to go, I think. I just need to check things like, make sure payments can be processed and all this kind of stuff. Okay. The first guitar of this week, here's this Tuesday live stream. This guitar is made by the American luthier Stephen Walter. This one is made in 2023 and it's in spectacular condition. It's his normal all-wood lattice brace model with his defined resonance area, really creating a super projecting guitar that also just has so many colors. Before I go any further, I have to always say that Steve Walter's guitars are the most playable guitars in the world, at least in my opinion. As far as the neck goes, his setup, his fretwork, and then of course the sound, which I always say has such an influence on the way that a guitar feels to you. This guitar has it all. Your hands just feel so comfortable on it. In fact, a lot of times when his guitars that are 650 scale, standard scale like this one is, a lot of times when people play it, they say, what is this, 630, 640 scale? They think it's smaller scale because their hands feel so comfortable on it. So it's always amazing how he ends up doing that. But I have to talk about some other very interesting details on his instruments. This rosette of his, it has this really beautiful burgundy red color to it. You can see several different subtle colors in it. I really like it. It's also very nostalgic for me because I've played his guitars since 2013. All the competitions I ever did were on his guitars. So really cool. These guitars have traveled with me all over the place. This one is in almost brand new condition from 2023. It has an extremely raised fingerboard in the style of Tom Humphrey, who was a mentor to him. You can just see how much of a raised fingerboard this is. It makes it so easy to reach the higher frets. So easy that you actually sometimes will miss the 12th fret when you first try this guitar. You'll go to the 13th because it feels just as comfortable. Of course, that's something you adjust to in just a blink of an eye there. But it is something to note about, how dramatically raised it is. You'll also notice these sound ports on the side here. Now, he normally puts 2 sound ports here. I know Steve personally prefers these ports here. It sounds more open. And it gives mostly the player a little bit better idea of how the guitar sounds. There's more presence to the sound when you're behind the instrument. That being said, I have done a lot of tests with either plugs, which I have sound port plugs around here somewhere, or these little static pieces of plastic that are not sticky, but you can cover over the top. Now, I'm not going to do this on the stream. It's going to be way harder to tell here. But in person, I guarantee you, if I plugged both of these and then removed them, you would actually hear a difference from the other side. It does sound a little bit more open and free. Now, from the perspective in a concert hall, I don't think you would notice as much of a difference, open versus closed. I would just encourage you to play however you would like, however you enjoy it, you know. So anyways, a little bit of rant about that. This one has Indian rosewood back and sides, a really nice set here. Of course, nothing you have to worry about for international travel, and also with these really clean piece of Indian rosewood, you don't have to worry about it cracking so easily. Like Brazilian rosewood, you might have to worry a little bit more. The neck on this one, as far as I can tell, is mahogany. It's a darker piece of wood here. Really nice. His classic headstock design. And then, oh gosh, it kills me with these tuners. They're so nice. These Scheller tuners with buffalo horn, buttons, and rollers. It's so nice. I mean, these are just beautiful tuners that work super smoothly. And then now, you have to hear how this thing sounds. I mean, this guitar just, the notes just pop right off of it. I mean, it has that same quality when you play it in first position as it does as you go up the neck, you know? You get so much fundamental on these notes. And then the beautiful high harmonics that come out of it. Maybe a second or two after you play the note. You know, I say it all the time, but some great guitars really make you want to play slower. And what makes you want to play slower is you notice on any given note that you play, something beautiful happens later while you're holding the note. So you're doing something like this, right? And then a second or two later, you're like, oh, that's beautiful. Maybe I won't come off of it so fast, you know? So it's really a joy to get to know this one. And let me show you what it sounds like in drop D. Sorry, I'm getting out of tune over here. I have to tune this thing up. Nice Guitar says, man, I'm going to convert. I didn't used to like lattice, but I've never heard anything like this. Man, well, I totally understand that. This is not one of those guitars that you play and you immediately think lattice, double top, traditional. You just can't pinpoint it like that. I'll try that again. This is Rosita by Targa. And that high D is still ringing. So, as you can see, this thing is super, super nice. And these are not the newest strings. you just feel comfortable on it. I don't feel like I'm having to like force good sound out of it or try to manipulate my hands to make it sound good. It's just everywhere I pick is just a nice sound, right? Or so cool. Well, I'll play something else that I always play on every guitar, Prelude 11 by Targa. Please tell me you guys heard that. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Lightning. And I'm not just talking about the sound of this guitar. I'm talking about a crazy storm happening outside right now. Did you guys hear that? If you didn't, I just look crazy. It was super, super loud. My gosh. Please tell me you guys heard that. It was like a huge crack of lightning. You might have even seen it on the screen. Like this video is going to be useless to use in the future because I'm not going to be able to clip anything out of it because of the heavy rain. Yeah, you heard something, yeah. This thing's incredible. I'm going to try this Prelude 11 again, but I mean, it's raining cats and dogs out there. I'm getting emergency alerts on my phone over here. Flash flood warning. Don't worry, I am high up off the ground over here. That was some loud thunder. Yeah, it's lightning actually. I saw the strike. So, anyways, we'll play this Prelude 11 again by Targa. But yes, Lisa says this Stephen Walter guitar is a super special one. Nice guitar. Says, oh well, this one's very special. Hey, I'm glad you guys think so. I heard something. Chris says, yeah. I'm going to play that again. Let me tune up one more time. Nice guitar, says, dude, I'm glad you're playing nylon string and not steel string. Wait. Do you hear that? Oh my gosh. I saw the strike. It's far away, but it was like 5 seconds later. Don, hello from North Florida. Yeah, you guys get rain every day, right? I heard the thunder all the way over here on the shores of the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah. All right, I'm going to play this. I'm going to try to get through this Targa Prelude. Wow. Well, this is one super special Steve Walter guitar. I can say that maybe, I don't know, maybe Steve would correct me here, but I've probably played as many Steve Walter guitars as anyone else out there besides the maker himself. And I have to say this is a particularly nice one. It's a particularly nice one. And if you're looking for a spruce top guitar that doesn't have like some overly spruce qualities, like it's not like super bright and has no low end or anything like this, this is such a great guitar for you. And it's a real treat to play it because I'm telling you, it makes my job easy. I don't have to struggle to make it sound good. But anyways, okay, this guitar, Stephen Walter, 2023. I need to move on to the next instrument. Hopefully my live stream isn't interrupted by any rain here, but it's really nice. I wish I could just flip this camera around to show you guys what I'm looking at here. The corner of my office room here is 2 big windows, which I'm far enough away from. I'm not worried about that, but the rain is coming down so hard that it's hitting the windows, and maybe the sound isolation is good enough in here where you're not hearing it through the mics since those are pointed at me. But we'll move on to the next guitar here because I need to wrap up by 11:45 my time today. So, all right, let me tune this one before I say anything about it. Because I just put on a new 5th string. Those of you that were here earlier might have heard me saying on this guitar, it was sent to me with a 5th string that was actually a 4th string. So I knew nearly right away when I played, so what's wrong with this guitar? And it was just that this string was so loose feeling. Something was very wrong. And I just replaced the 5th string. Whoa. This is one of these guitars that when you play the B here, you feel it pumping your arm over here. Okay. This guitar is a very new guitar by the famous French maker Jean Roer. Let me start that over. Jean Noel, yes. This is a very new instrument from the year 2024 by the very well-known French maker Noel Rohe. Now, quite obviously, both in terms of the sound, the bracing, the aesthetics of the guitar, this is a very Dominique Field and Daniel Friedrich inspired guitar. And I have to say, you even hear bits of Robert Boucher in here. It is a very French sounding instrument, and it's combining all of the best elements, I think, of the French guitars. And this one is maybe not even a year old, from the year 2024. Now, if you even see through the video here, and I've got close-up photos, that there's really a lot of really nice work on the interior of this guitar. I mean, the way he writes his name on the label here, it's on the center strip of a piece of wood on the back that looks like maple to me. And then you've got these long bars that go along the wood grain of the Indian rosewood, where he writes the year and the number of the guitar. This one is number 112. And right away, when you pick up this guitar, you'll notice the beautiful rosette on this guitar. It's really nice, simple, understated. It sort of just blends into the guitar. But it's the type of guitar when you pick it up and you really start to look at it, you notice a bunch of really nice details. Now, I have to turn the guitar around right away to show you this Indian rosewood back and sides. That's just spectacular. You just never see pieces of Indian rosewood that have this type of color gradient that goes to lighter in the center. And to top it off, when you turn it to the side, you also see that same gradient going from dark to light. It looks like a filter. You know, it looks like this was edited, but it's not. And then also on the other side, you can see that same gradient, which I think, you know, when you feel like your guitar has a special piece of wood or just special looking to you, you feel more of this intimate connection to it. And I certainly feel that way with this instrument. It's just so beautiful to hold and look at. And you turn around, you're talking, and you see that. Oh man, it's pretty cool. It's a treat. Moving on up to the headstock, quite obviously a Dominique Field style headstock here. And I have to say this is a beautiful homage because it is very similar. It's nearly identical to Dominique Field's headstock, which I always have found quite beautiful. And then we have Scheller tuners on this guitar, very, very smooth with white faux ivory rollers. And then to talk a little bit about the neck shape of this one, I would say it's a very full neck that's almost on the side of D shape, but is still fairly C-shaped here. The action is nice and low, and without further ado, I really ought to play this thing. You have to hear this. These are some of the most sought after French guitars in the world. You still hear that E rumbling. know, I'm completely taken back by the sound of this guitar. And while I'm playing and I'm hearing these, like, I like to say this, like, noble characteristic to the guitar, I'm trying to think of the words to describe, like, what makes it that way. I mean, I hear this sound, but what is it about the sound that makes it so special? And I can describe things that make it sound very sterile. Like it's got great sustain, the fundamental holds a long time, the overtones are really beautiful. But it really doesn't capture what I mean. And I think this is why we all love these like classical guitars. It's just that, like, there's some things that are just so hard to describe, and you know, you hear idiots like me trying to make sense of it all. But you know what? It's something about how the notes come together. They come together in just the most beautiful synergy, like you're listening to an orchestra, and then there's this, you can't even see the tuba player at the back, but they're just holding down this at the back that's just, they just wonder what their instrument is or how they've achieved such a tone. You hear all of these complex little thoughts that you feel when you're listening to a great orchestra play the last chord of a piece. You're hearing that in this guitar, I think. How about that? My gosh. I know a piece I want to play on this. Sorry, there's no dots on this thing. Wow. Well, I have to tune this again. By the way, you know, as a little side thing to mention here, many people have written to me before, as I more get to know people who are looking for guitars and expressing what they're looking for. Many people get this one little thing wrong, I think, is that many people say, well, you know what, I really want nice tuners so that my guitar can finally stay in tune. My guitar never stays in tune. I'm sorry, but that's really not something that you're going to find with nice tuners. I mean, yeah, they hold their tune well, but any decent tuners hold their tune extremely well. It's probably either the way you're tuning, or that you're putting on new strings very often and that they stretch, or there's temperature changes in the room. There's all sorts of different things. And while I'm a huge fan of nice tuners, everyone knows this that's watched my videos here, that's more for just how smooth they feel. I almost never take into consideration how they hold their tune. That's, if you get a decent, I mean, not something that's like $5, but like a $100, $200 pair of tuners, they're gonna hold their tune well. I've never had an issue there. Yeah, or very old strings, for instance. In this situation, it's very new A string. That's the only new string on this guitar, so it's throwing the others off. It's also dramatically changing temperature right now because it's pouring raining and the AC's running. So, yeah, listen to this. How about that? This guitar is just so elegant sounding. It is just a real dream. Admittedly, the sound of the rain outside is almost drowning out the strings for me. The more I play this guitar, the more I like it. My gosh. I'll play Prelude 11 by Tornado. Wow. Well, this is a dreamboat of a guitar by Noel Rohe, based in France, Strasbourg. And number 112 from the year 2024. You can tell this guy has put his all into this guitar because it is just, it's a combination of the masters. That this is my first experience playing one of his instruments. And now I see why they're extremely sought after. These guitars never survive on the market, and this is a new one. So if you're interested in it, write to me. I probably won't publish a video on this one for another week or two. But yes, it's a great guitar, and apologies for the rain if you can hear that. Last but not least, and I unfortunately only have 5-6 minutes to show this one. I have a guitar here that was dropped off to me yesterday. Now, I don't have professional photos of it. There's no videos. There's nothing on this one. This is by a maker that this is his 21st guitar. He's a retired pediatrician. His name is Michael Fontenot. And this guitar really surprised me. And he sent me two. I'm not gonna have time to show you the other one, but two of his most recent works. This is a cedar double top with Nomex as the in-between layer, and Indian rosewood back and sides. And the guitar is 640 scale, and it knocked my socks off. Now, in terms of price, at this moment, these are extremely reasonable guitars. I'm selling this one, which he self-admittedly said was the best guitar that he's made. I am selling these for a very low price. So please write to me. You know, compared to these other two guitars I'm showing you today, this one is half the price, more than half the price of especially the Noe. This is a super special guitar, really low main air resonance, very responsive and loud. I just have to show you. Listen to this. I mean, the responsiveness is great, the sustain is great. And those of you that have been watching this channel for a while might know that I'm a big fan of these guitars that have low main air resonances. And this one is a D, which makes these drop D sounds. so nice. And these are D'Addario normal tension, nothing special, no carbon, souped up carbon sound. This is nylon. It's amazing. A nice guitar has polish or lacquer, all French polished. There's no CNC machines involved in this guitar at all either. This is all handmade, cedar neck, Indian roseback and sides. I have to say, this guitar is the one that I reached for this morning when I was just going to warm up and play a little bit of guitar. It is really nice. It has such a growl to it. I mean, I have to say, this is the most impressive guitar that I have seen with this early of a number. Number 21, raised fingerboard. I mean, you could tell little details here and there that he hasn't built hundreds of guitars like some of these extremely famous luthiers. You know, little details of polish not coming all the way to the edges of things, or little rough spots in the wood. But these are things that I'm looking at with really high detail and comparing to like, you know, Friedrich's number 500 something of guitar or whatever. This guitar is spectacular. The aesthetic details are actually quite nice with the, you know, this ring, this rosette with different rings of wood around it here, and the way that this wood matches perfectly the one with the armrest, which is quite a long armrest, but very comfortable and thin. It's not something you notice right away. And it's Sloan tuners on here, so nothing super fancy, but these are very stable tuners that work very well. Well, I have to say, I could keep on playing on this guitar for a long time. This guitar is under $6,000. Write to me, you'll be surprised at the price. It's got it's just so nice. So I've really congratulated him on this. He dropped it off yesterday. It was finished like a week or two ago. All French polish, raised fingerboard, Beautiful, like Torres, maybe some Hauser inspiration in the headstock. Thin neck, 640 scale, making it just such a breeze to play. In all nylon strings right now. And I'm seconds away from having to end the stream, and of course the rain stops and the sun starts to come out here. Isn't that how life goes? Well, anyways, I have to wrap this up here. Today I have shown you this Michael Fontenot guitar from literally about a week or two ago. It was finished. I showed you this Roer guitar, which is super special. First guitar I've personally seen of this maker. They're so hard to get, and they are extremely in-demand instruments. And then the very first guitar I showed you was by Stephen Walter from the year 2023. My favorite playing guitars on the planet. Tons of volume, extremely easy to play, super colorful, with all the most modern features like a big raised fingerboard and sound ports. Super special instrument. I have to roll, but thank you all so much for watching. All of these instruments are available. None of them are on the website. I only have professional photos of the Walter and the Roer guitar. It might be a little while before they hit the website, but I can already see there are emails waiting for me about these instruments. So please write to me if you are interested, and I will see you in the next stream. Tomorrow, there will be a lovely video published of the Dietmar Hübner guitar, Hübner, from the year 2024. That is sold, but that video will release tomorrow. I hope you all have a good rest of your week and stay in touch. Feel free to write to me. Thanks always for watching.